going on, everybody? So, here we're looking at what it's like when you actually log in. This is the admin menu list. And there's quite a few things if you actually look this over makes sense. You could change your password. First on the list is perform a system update, internet access required. Never, ever, ever do an update. This software will work just fine until you do an update. Once you do an update, it gears it all back to the ham side. This stuff is actually meant for the amateur community and not meant for us. It's been manipulated to work for us, but there are still a lot of traits that go back to the ham VoIP software. Once you click an update, it takes all that shit back to the way it needs to be for the ham VoIP software. So never, ever do an update. All right, so then you can do a root password change if you want. There's really no need to do it. There's no ports that you need to open, so nobody could access it from outside your house. And it's not like I'm going to be driving down the road in your neck of the woods, unless you live here in central Wisconsin. And even so, what would I do with it? Primary node number change, you would never actually need to worry about. Time zone change, that you would want to worry about. It is a little bit confusing. It goes by cities. My current time zone is America, Chicago. But literally, once it loads the list, in order to get it to lock on to what you want, you need to put a little asterisk symbol in there. And the way to do that, see, there's the asterisk symbol is you simply hit the space bar and it puts it in there. We're going to go up. See, it moves it. You hit the space bar. It puts it to where you want it. You hit enter. And then it says, are you sure you want to change it? And you say yes. So there's that. Wi-Fi configuration. Configure the Wi-Fi interface networking. This is what the big question is. A lot of people want to know if you have the ability to change this, and the answer is yes. Here it is. Let me see if I can get it. Of course, now that I'm doing this, there it is. Option number 7. You hit enter. You can go into it. You got 3 different options here. You could set it up. You could turn it off, or you could see what you got. Let's see what we got here. We got a couple of different ones. We don't actually have mine in here. But actually what it looks like, yeah, there is one of mine. This one will come defaulted in it. Every node that you will get will have this. This is a default username and password. Default is the network with a capital N is the SSID, and network with a lowercase n and number 1 for the password. So if you want to do this at home, and you buy a Raspberry Pi 3A Plus that does not have the LAN connection, and you don't have a USB keyboard, and you're like, now what? Change your 5G connection to network with a network 1 as the password, and you'll be good to go. This one below it is just one that I threw in there to have, because I don't know why it's actually in there. But anyways, you can send in, when you purchase this, up to 3, because that's all we want to have time to do is put in 3. But that is not to say that you can't have 100 in here. I'm not sure what the max is. This is a actual text document, and all it will do is, okay, nothing here, go down to the next one, nothing there, and go to the next one, and it does it quick, so you don't even recognize it. But you got the most one that you're going to be interested in is an option number 1. Option number 1 is simple questions. Do you want to configure this? Do you want to continue? Yes, obviously. I do not recommend clearing this because you lose your default way in. You can always, as long as you do not clear this, let's say let me run an example by I hit yes on this, and then what happens is I hit yes, and then I fuck up somewhere when I'm down the road, because next questions are going to ask me to log into the router. So let's say if I fuck up the password to my router, or I fuck up the SSID to the router, I am fucked. I have no way in. I have to then now get a USB keyboard and an HDMI. Where if you fuck it up, you fucked it up. That's not a big deal, um, because you can always go back and rename your router to the network and network one. Where now you have to remember, where did you fuck up if you delete this? Where did I fuck it up? Where if you leave it alone, obviously whatever you put in there is not right, otherwise it would have jumped in there. So leaving it in there is not going to hurt it. So just going back through, hitting no, you do not want to clear the file. Then you can either, when we set these up, we have to manually enter the SSID and password, because we're not going to go and rename our router to what is yours. So we have to hit manually. Now, let's say you're sitting at home with your Pi sitting there on the desk. You would hit no to this. And when you hit no to it, it's going to give you a list, just like you would click down on the bottom of your computer for the Wi-Fi's in your neck of the woods. Some iPhones are a little bit more of a pain in the ass as well. Some iPhones will not let us put it in. Will not let us put the info in for you. So then when you connect it to your iPhone, it will not work. You actually have to go into the settings from, let's say, your home connection, and then turn your hotspot on, and you actually have to pick it out of this list. Not all iPhones will do that, but some have that issue where you have to physically pick it from this list, say, okay, there's my iPhone number 5 here. I click on it, and then it will ask me for the name and the password for it. And, so then you click on that, and it'll ask you for the name and password, and it'll let you right on in. This is going to debauchalize it. No password, so it's just an open thing. So no, I'm not going to do it. But that is one of the most common questions. The thing is there was an idiot that wanted to post somewhere on our Facebook group, and the idiot was like, "Oh, if you can't log in, you don't own it. As soon as you purchase this, you get the login information to this." Now the thing is once you're in here and you start fucking around, that's on you, man. And it's a lot of time to sit here and recreate this back to the way we need it. And we've got a gentleman right now that's going through this struggle. He hit the update, and I'm like, no, man, you fucked it up. Now you're gonna have to redo it. And then he connected, and he's like, well, now it's got some funky amateur call sign being broadcasted over. Well, okay, so I had him do a primary node number change. Well, that's what wiped it out too, because when he did the update, it rewrote all the files to everything, and just totally botched it. It redirected it. So again, never, ever, ever, ever do a perform a system update. Option number 1. I have been looking into trying to rename the things on this list to simplify it, especially nobody knows what the hell this shit is, It's too baffling to people. Oh, configuring the network interface or interface networking. Well, I would like to get in there and just rename it to Wi-Fi. People way overthink this stuff, and it's funny sometimes. But yeah, hopefully that answers a few questions. I don't like making my videos too long. I'm creeping up on 10 minutes. So thanks for watching. As always, check out gmrs.network.